Today's guest has spent his career at the bleeding edge of enterprise storage, from Dell to a scrappy startup to Western Digital to DDN, and now as a subject matter expert at IBM, where he lives and breathes the Fusion platform. In other words, if data needs a home, this guy helped to build it. Off the clock, he's wrenching on muscle cars, throttling a Harley through Nashville, and shredding lead guitar in a rock band. His Spotify is somehow Neil deGrasse Tyson, tech podcast, and heavy metal, which honestly tracks. He and his wife Debbie have been married 11 years. They have a son named Ace, who they adopted from China, and their idea of a perfect vacation is chasing down new experiences together as a family, which tells you everything you need to know about this guy. Tonight he's joining us in the garage, metaphorically speaking, with a gin and soda in hand. Please welcome Jake Goheen. Well, very excited to have you here today.
Happy to be here. Cheers.
So you got your gin and tonic. You gotta let me know when you need your refill.
I will.
I'm very good at being bartender, although I forgot your lime, so I apologize. If you like limes. Do you like limes in your drinks?
Everybody likes limes in their drinks.
And then party foul on my fault, so that's my bad. Wait, why gin?
Ooh, great question.
Yes.
I from Michigan.
Okay.
And Michigan's very popular for their beers, their microbrews. And I fell in love with an IPA.
Okay.
So those flavor profiles are very floral, a little bit of bitterness. And then when I stopped drinking beer, gin has a lot of those same flavor profiles. So it's very floral, it's very bitter.
Yes.
And then you mix it with soda, it becomes a gin Ricky, which is apparently the official drink of Washington, D.C., which I didn't know places had official drinks, but it does make sense that D.C. would have an official drink because they drink a lot there. But that's for a different podcast.
All right.
So that's kind of why I fell into gin.
Okay. All right. Well, so, tell me a little. I don't understand this. Apparently you like the number 6. What's going on with the number 6 with 6 different platforms? Is like ordering 6 separate drinks at the bar instead of one made. What is it? What is it? A gin Ricky.
Well, you could go get 6 different drinks and have
a
different experience every time you order from the bartender, or you could just stick with the gin Ricky that you know is going to be solid every time.
All right. So let's get to know each other a little bit better. Because, we didn't have 30 minutes or so to do this.
We haven't already been laughing our heads off. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. What is the weirdest thing someone has tried to store on enterprise storage that you've heard of?
This is going to be one that may hit blooper reel.
Okay. I can't wait.
So can we call it inappropriate photos that were unfortunately synced from someone's cell phone?
No.
Yeah.
But how do you know it? Are you looking through storage?
I
and you
heard
come
the
up
story.
with it?
I heard the story. I did not see the photos. I would not double click that.
Okay.
But the one that I did see
have
physically were, we'll call them inappropriate comments and inappropriate ways for naming conventions that a company had to go through and clean up because we were doing a data discovery for an AI project. And turns out you're not allowed to curse in a lot of the AI models. So it wouldn't pick it up because they had named their files curse words.
Do you think they did that on purpose?
I think that was just
picked up.
No, it was just them having fun.
And then naming them like that.
Later in life, those files became necessary for an AI project, and we had to go crawl all those and find all that interesting stuff.
All right. Here comes my favorite word. Okay, so I'm not going to mess it up.
Okay.
Flash storage, spinning disk, or tape. Which one do you defend at a dinner party? And why?
At a dinner party? Ooh.
Yeah.
Who's at my dinner party?
Myself, Amy, David, your wife, and Ace.
I would defend tape storage.
Oh, man. So the SD didn't get a
No, I'm
play.
doing that on purpose. But tape storage, because it's a secret workhorse. It's one that nobody thinks about.
Storage,
It's not kind of in the sexy column, but it is continuously growing in popularity. It's just doing it kind of behind the scenes.
Because tape storage has been around for
a very long time.
Ever.
Yep.
And it's not really ever going away.
Correct.
Yeah. That's true.
Well, now we know that to be correct.
Okay. So I want to know one of your tech confessions, something that you believed about storage 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I know you've been in this industry for a very long time, that you think is completely wrong.
That I think now or that I thought then?
Why don't we do both? Why not? Let's just do both.
The one I got wrong then was back to tape. I would have guaranteed that tape would be dead long before it is today. I would have guaranteed that. As the advent of SSD and SSD was going to get cheaper, spinning drives were getting bigger. Why would we have to worry about tape?
Yeah.
Not only was that wrong, it was hard wrong. So we have a roadmap out for tape that is 15 years down the road, and all we're doing is investing in improving tape. We have tape now that has S3 headers and it acts like deep archive storage.
Yeah.
So I got that one wrong. One I think I may have gotten right was NVMe when that first came out.
Yes, my favorite words. Ask David, he knows that. Yep.
It was PCIe SSD.
You want to explain that?
Well, yeah, it's SSD baked into a PCI card.
Okay.
So it was companies like Fusion IO made those. It was a bleeding edge technology, wildly expensive for a little bit of storage.
Yeah.
But I was sure that was a technology that was going to take off and start expanding. And look where we are today. Obviously, NVMe is everywhere. So I got one check in the plus column.
Okay. All right. Were you wrong about anything else? Or those were like...
I'm wrong a lot.
Okay. Good.
My wife, if she watches this, will definitely confirm that I'm wrong a lot.
So at least she's... Okay, great.
She's smarter than I am.
Good lady. So let's talk a little bit more about you. Tell me a little bit more about you. We just talked about your journey, about the different companies, startup and Dell, and that IBM now. I'm sure I skipped one or two in between, but tell me how you got here at IBM and how you got into this the storage fusion role as an SME.
Joined IBM honestly because when I had a chance to look at the technology and to ask some questions to existing SMEs at that time, I was blown away by everything they were doing and doing quietly. By that, I mean, they're not out beating a drum. They don't have a giant marketing engine. It's a lot of just very, very intentional moves. And when you can peel back the covers, how does everything plug in together? Why are they doing certain things? Where did they learn these certain things? Every piece of their technology is consistently impressive.
Okay.
And when I saw that, why would you not go work for the best tech?
Yeah, I get it. So why do you think IBM Fusion is the glue that holds IBM storage and infrastructure brands together?
At the risk of sounding really cheesy.
But you are doing a really good job at it, just to let you know.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think the name Fusion is apt because it does fuse all the technologies together.
Okay.
So it bridges the gap between our Red Hat experience, a lot of our storage technology, things like Power Brand, things like Z Brand, so mainframe, all of these things that we can pull in and we can utilize them all under one roof.
Okay.
So bringing in at a lot of our application stack, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, is all being containerized.
Okay.
So it needs somewhere to live.
And that's what containerization means, in short, if that's how you would describe it. Because we're here to make technology tipsy. So we got to make it easy for our viewers.
Explain containerization?
In a fun way. I dare you.
All right, let's talk about why it's called a container.
There you go. Let's go for it. Yeah.
So basically, think about a shipping container.
Okay.
Everything is inside of it. You can move it wherever you want, and everything stays inside of it.
Yep.
So I can stack them up on a giant boat. I can move them wherever I need to move them. I can use very cool tools like Kubernetes, which if you want to throw up the Kubernetes logo for a quick sec.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know why it's a ship's wheel?
No.
Because that's the ancient Greek word for a ship's wheel is a Kubernetes. It's designed to help steer container ships.
Huh.
So there's all these really fun things that we can...
Did you know that?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Super nerd. You got 10 extra nerd points just for knowing that now.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is a nerd of our group
But
too.
I can take my container.
Lovingly.
I can throw it on a rail car.
Okay.
I can put it on a ship.
Okay.
I can put it on a semi-truck. I could drop it in your driveway. Everything's still in my container.
Okay. And then as long as it's in that container, we're good.
And what are you using underneath it? Well, underneath it, I'm sharing resources of a ship. I can have 1,000 containers sharing the hull and the engine of a ship.
Okay.
So I can stack containers up on a shared resource.
All right.
That's it. Is that tipsy enough for you?
Totally. I feel like we need to have a drink after that.
I'll have a drink before and after.
Okay, perfect. We're going to say something? No. Okay. What's one thing that you think people get consistently wrong about IBM storage or about the platform approach in general?
I think about IBM and platform approach is that it's going to be wildly expensive, wildly complicated,
This is what they get wrong.
and make their lives more difficult.
Okay.
Could not be farther from the truth. As a matter of fact, it's typically less expensive, it's less complicated, and it makes your life better. But from an outsider view, we can pick on IBM for a minute. We have the market perception that we play for the Fortune 10.
Okay. Yep.
In reality, we've brought a lot of that technology down into the mid-market space, and so that even mom and pop shops can take advantage of what IBM has learned from the Fortune 10, Fortune 50, and then be able to consume that in a meaningful way at a realistic price tag. And in a lot of accounts and a lot of times, I'll say we're actually price leaders. So we will be the least expensive option, which kind of blows people away when they first get introduced to IBM.
Most customers are now drowning in infrastructure silos, and we go to our 6 platforms or 6 bills or 6 support contracts, multiple avenues, right?
Or 6 different drinks.
Yeah, or 6 different drinks, 6 different bars, whatever. And IBM Fusion is the answer to that problem. So due to the recent Broadcom VMware acquisition fallout, we have customers actively looking for alternatives. What does IBM have for them?
So let's start by the fact that I don't want to come across as a VMware or anti-VMware. I think the conversation is more about how do we right size a VMware environment?
All right.
How do we start migrating away and to what platform makes the most sense? Platform is an interesting word. We will probably talk more about that later. But as we move away, it has to be somewhere that we can get a vCenter-like experience that we've all known to come and love. It has to have things like HADR. It has to be able to migrate to different platforms of servers and cloud and all that. And that's where the beauty of Fusion comes in, along with our brothers from Red Hat, utilizing OpenShift. Those 2 tools together give a very VMware-like experience for virtual machines.
Okay, so is there a rip and replace situation, or is there a way that customers can transition gradually?
Yeah, so I would
this right sizing.
Yeah, I would recommend transitioning.
Okay.
Slowly, even.
Slowly. Okay.
We have customers that start by spinning up an OpenShift cluster and running Fusion inside of VMware.
Okay.
And then having the ability to get to know that platform a little bit, migrate those machines out to bare metal, and then we can start failing over some of those machines from VMware into a virtual state inside of their OpenShift cluster. We can do that crawl, walk, run. I don't think anybody would be a fan of just simply turning a light switch off and saying, okay, on Tuesday, we're running VMware. On Wednesday, we're inside of an OpenShift cluster. That's scary on a lot of fronts.
Yeah.
So the ability that we can bring this in kind of a drip scenario and then use that walk, crawl, run to get everybody up and running, that's a more realistic approach to how I think we're going to see enterprises sort of adopt the new normal, which is going to be, I won't say in a post VMware world, because again, there's there's probably likely always going to be VMware instances around, but there's going to be far less than there are today.
So do you have any words of advice for any current VMware existing customers right now, whether they're being pushed to continue on with the Broadcom or anything else? Do you have any additional other words to them just
Yeah.
to help them with their nervousness of that transition, right? Like you
I
said,
think
those
while
are
you have the
lights.
resources and while you have the knowledge to do things inside of VMware,
Mhm.
go ahead and spin up a small OpenShift cluster, download the Fusion operator, run it in a trial instance,
Okay.
and play with it. We're all in tech, and we all like to play with our toys.
Right.
So the best way to get to know any sort of feature sets and any sort of platforms and any sort of user intuitiveness is going to be to play with it. So start small,
Yep. Okay.
spin up a virtual cluster.
Okay.
When you fall in love with it, because they will,
Mhm.
then we move that over to either bare metal nodes, or maybe we can even spin those up inside of a different sort of cluster. But we can do that on their existing setup they have right now. So
That's good.
we're not asking anybody to spend any money
Yeah.
or to inject new hardware from day one. We're just saying, hey, just go dip your toe in.
And I think that would make me feel a little bit more comfortable, and I think that would help a lot of our customers just in general feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So you're not overwhelming yourself. And
See
you
what
get
the
to
future is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With all the pressure to do AI, customers have the want and sometimes the need, but zero idea on how. Is there an easy button for them?
I love that you said do AI,
Yes.
because that's
Yes.
how I feel like a lot of our customers are approaching this.
Yes. Yeah.
I really want to do AI. And you're like,
Great.
okay, what do you want to do with your AI? And a lot of times, like you said, they have the want, possibly even the need, but they don't know how to get there. I think it starts with the want, and shortly followed after want should be the understanding. And that's the part I think a lot of customers are struggling with is I have the want, I don't understand what I need to even begin. And that's where we're seeing a lot of COEs. We're seeing a lot of kicking the tires on something that's already pre-built.
Mhm.
And maybe it starts with something as simple as a chatbot.
Okay.
And then we grow into agentic and we grow into whatever. But right now, what I'm seeing is a lot of people with the want, the need, but know how. And the how is the hardest part.
And is that where your expertise, IBM's expertise, would be able to help them with the how, with a crawl, walk, run?
Yeah, that's the beauty of the IBM
Okay.
depth and breadth. We can bring in the hardware portion, we can bring in networking portion, we can bring in people like the Watson X team that have a plethora of AI solutions and all the underpinnings, and we can whiteboard everything out and explain exactly how to get to what it is you want to do.
Okay.
Oddly enough, we see customers change their mind in that same meeting of what they thought they wanted,
Makes sense.
and then
Makes sense.
we see the art of the possible, and we see what the reality could be, and we take a strange right turn and end up somewhere that we didn't expect to see.
Where does Storage Fusion fit within the AI data pipeline? Does it fit in the foundation? Is it the glue, or is it the accelerant in to do AI?
I think it could be multiple things. In that terminology, it is the foundation, and it can be the accelerant.
Okay.
By that, I mean that all data has to live somewhere.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we do need a data foundation to be able to build anything on top of. We also need to have resiliency and enterprise hardening that we've come to expect from every other platform that we've seen out there. So if I were to give you a free version of, say, OpenShift, and you can start spinning things up, you can put an AI bot on it, and you can run it on your desktop. What happens when your desktop gets shut off? What happens if you get a virus? Were you running backups? Was there any HA? Or is there a DR policy?
Yeah.
Is it done in RAID? So those are the questions that Fusion answers. It's the data platform, it's the data policies, it's the data services that, while, yes, it is at a foundational layer, those unlock the ability to start speeding things up because I've taken care of, we'll call it the base level. I've now unlocked the ability for you to go accelerate and to start building more machines and to know that they're protected from a fundamental level.
You mentioned this earlier, but there's a lot of legacy hardware. And you have a lot of customers who have hardware on the floor left, right? With lots of life in it, essentially. Can IBM Fusion work with non-IBM gear?
Yeah, a great question. A lot of times people see Fusion, and in a lot of our own marketing and a lot of our own slideware for Fusion, we do showcase a rack.
Okay.
We can ship a Fusion set of hardware, and it's an engineered infrastructure, so it has servers and networking and power and everything, and it can come in a predestined rack.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, Fusion is software. So software can run anywhere. So if you bring me a stack of x86 servers, I don't really care if it's a mix match of Dell, Lenovo, HP, whatever you got out there. We can utilize those and consume those.
Yeah.
And we can also consume, as a interesting side note, we can consume any of your storage brands. So if you are, say, running something like an Isilon, or you're running something like a Pure Storage, which again, a lot of our customers are in this multi-vendor approach. And arguably in a siloed approach, we can start collapsing some of those silos and utilize Fusion as the glue that is able to bring everything together.
Does it make at any point, does it make a difference where the former hardware is on its journey in terms of like end of life, when you would potentially look to put in
Oh, that's a great question.
Fusion?
That's a great question.
Okay.
So if we have a lot of life left in something like a stack of x86 servers,
And define life.
we have many years of support. They're relatively new.
5 years. Okay, so
And
you've got time.
yeah, we've got 2.5 years of, or before I have to depreciate them on my books.
All right.
So they still have fiscal life because I can't depreciate them.
That's
Right?
what
That's
all
a
right.
realistic
Okay.
option.
Okay.
I can utilize those today. And then as those start depreciating out, when the life cycle changes, it might make sense to bring in the IBM hardware.
Okay.
The reason being, I can start stacking everything else up behind my IBM hardware, and I can continue to get a little bit more life out of it.
All right. All right.
So the other one, and the other major reason why I've seen so many customers start with IBM hardware, even if they have some existing hardware, is we can build up what we call a control tower.
Okay.
Which is essentially exactly what it sounds like. I can build up my control tower, and it can control other parts of the infrastructure. So one ring to rule them all for the rest of my nerds.
Okay.
Looking at you, man.
Is that a Lord of the Rings kind of joke?
You can wait outside while we talk.
Okay. Luckily, it's my house. I don't
Oh,
have
that's
to go
true.
anywhere.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, the idea being that in a control tower environment, I can bring in other hardware as a managed cluster. Terminology just means that I have other hardware that's coming in and I can utilize it and consume it via my control tower.
Okay.
So that's where we're seeing a handful and a more starting to begin their journey.
Yes.
After they've done the virtual thing that we talked about, they've kicked the tires, they've decided this is the way we want to go. I want to get life out of my existing hardware. I want to bring in all my silos and I want to put an umbrella over everything. We need a pole for the umbrella to stand up on, and a control tower makes the most sense.
That helps that, like what you were saying, 6 processes, 6 contracts, 6 bars, 6 whatever. It's just making it more manageable, even if when you have all these multiple different environments.
Yeah, and
things,
let's
right?
take it a step further.
Simplifies, yeah.
So, yeah, I may have 6 different vendors, 6 different contracts. Can my bespoke hardware fix that? Yeah, because it's all under one IBM contract,
Okay.
right? So, check. We know we can do that. But if we go just a little bit farther than that, then we realize we have 6 or more different silos of individuals and individual skill sets inside of my own business.
All right.
So I have a virtual machine manager. I've got a backup guy. I've got a networking guy. I've got a storage guy. I've got all these people, my security, and we can break this up into as many different roles and responsibilities as we want to. They all have their own bespoke set of tools to them. And they all have to be able to know those tools. And my tool doesn't work with your tool, but it has to in the background. But you don't get to understand my tool because you don't touch it every day. In an OpenShift Fusion environment, we're all working off an OpenShift Fusion platform. So all of my tools are inside of the platform. So I can start collapsing those internal silos.
I like that. So it addresses all.
So it addresses multiple factors, and that's what a platform approach really brings to a business is the ability to start chopping down those silos and start consuming not just resources physically, but resources in my talent pool. I can bring them all in together.
Let's pretend we're at the bar with the whole crew. All right. What exactly is a platform approach? Because we throw that term around a lot.
And I think it scares some people.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Scares me.
we've mentioned a couple things so far about the perception of it being difficult, perception of it being expensive, perception of it adding complexity. We've discussed that that's not the case.
Okay.
We've talked about the 6 different drinks, the 6 different silos. We've talked about the 6 different personality types and the 6 different sets of intelligence and tools and things we need in our parts and people. A platform approach is simply the ability to collapse those, to get better utilization out of whatever hardware I need, to get better utilization out of whatever services I need, to give me the ability to push and pull and make my workloads work for me instead of the other way around. So, for instance, I have working on a new machine. I'm going to build a new application. I'm going to start building it in AWS. It goes great, and we're going to roll this out to production. But my AWS was just my kind of like my personal one that I have on the side, but all my production stuff's in Azure. So I need to do a cross-cloud migration. And then it does really well. And we start consuming GPUs at a rate that financially we weren't prepared for. So based on a couple calculators we have out there, we decide that it makes fiscal sense to pull that new workload from Azure onto Prem and start consuming on-prem resources. That's 3 different things, 3 different ways of doing things, 3 different sets of tools, 3 different sets of people, perhaps.
We're going from 6 to 3.
Well,
changing our
so now
numbers.
now we only have 3.
Yeah.
But what if it was just 1? What if I built it in AWS?
Yeah.
It could move to Azure, could move to on-prem. Perhaps I have an instance in all 3, but I want to manage them all at once. I want to treat my entire environment as one environment.
Right.
And that's going to include cloud. That's going to include on-prem. That's probably going to include a colo. And if I need to spin something up somewhere else, even if it's just for a cloud burst, for a moment in time that I need it, I want to use the same set of tools. I want my same people to be very much in the know and understand everything. And I don't want to refactor any of my applications. What if it's a virtual machine? We can do that. What if it's a container? We can do that. What if it's an AI workload? We can do that. In a platform approach, my response doesn't change. Whatever you want to put underneath it, whatever server you want to bring me, whatever storage you want to bring me, I don't worry because I'm looking at the umbrella layer, the software layer on top of everything else.
Well, what are the applications that you're actually seeing move to containers versus the virtual machines?
We're seeing a very, very high percentage of tier one applications and business critical applications
Tier one business. Okay.
move over from virtual machine status to containerized status.
Okay.
A lot of interesting reasons for that, and those are more nerdy answers than I think you want right now. We could talk about microservices and all those fun things.
Fun.
But realistically, we're seeing all these tier one apps move because the term containerized is also the term cloud native.
Okay.
So
Okay.
because we're consuming things in that way, we're seeing the need for those applications to operate the same way in a cloud as they would on-prem.
Okay.
So that's, again, it's a lot of our tier one apps. A lot of our internal IBM apps we've containerized.
All right.
So we need somewhere that is a platform, for lack of better words, again, for those containers to live in.
For anybody who, again, is nervous or hesitant, what would you say? Is there a risk reward scenario that you would pose to them as to the pro and con?
Like for not getting on board with containers today,
Or native cloud?
I think if you're not at least exploring it today, you're already behind.
Got it. Yeah.
Let's pick on Oracle. They're
Okay.
everybody's favorite thing to pick on.
Let's do it.
You know, they're so affordable.
Yeah.
They never make things difficult for you. So Oracle stopped offering things in virtual and then went containerized only. And they went to their customers and said, okay, well, the new instance, the new upgrade, the one you're paying for is containerized. So what's your container strategy? Where are you going to put it? And the customers go, I don't have anywhere for a container. I don't have a container strategy. And they go, oh, congratulations. You live on Oracle Cloud now. And now that's where workloads go.
Okay.
Salesforce,
Okay.
Outlook. How many of these things have we seen start trickling into a cloud instance
Right.
because we didn't have anywhere for it to live? They didn't come out and say that the reason that we're not going to support, they said, you know, that hardware is not up to support. It's not going to be the way that we're doing things going forward. And you just thought, maybe, well, I guess I shouldn't have bought UCS. And really they mean like, it's just not a virtual machine anymore. It's going to have to be in a cloud-like instance. And we happen to own a cloud that you can consume from us, and we get to control the cost.
What's the downside of not adapting to this technology now?
So if you're not already having a container strategy, you're already behind.
Okay.
The world is moving this direction, and there is no stopping the freight train. I remember vividly having conversations with customers when virtual machines were the new thing. And for those of us with gray beards, we remember, okay, you can take a couple machines, but you're never going to take my SQL. It's never going to be virtualized. Okay, you can do SQL, but never my domain controller. And there were these stages of acceptance, maybe, of accepting virtual machines. And congratulations, we're already at stage 2 of container. It is the new normal. It is the way the applications are being presented now.
Okay.
And if you don't have a way to start consuming them, you're going to be left behind, or you're going to find yourself living on somebody else's computers and somebody else's cloud.
That you don't want, depending on your data and whatever's needed, right, for the business.
Or that can't control your own cost. Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if you were your own cloud provider? Yeah. It's a platform approach.
Yep. Okay.
Unless you're on cloud 9 and then you're just happy.
See, he had a 9 in there. You're at 3, 6, and 9. What about a 12? Do we got a 15?
If you can't say 3, 6, 9 to somebody my age and not have me finish that lyric, by the way.
I can finish that lyric too. Just saying. Okay. It's a great song. Lil Jon.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm. What about the most underrated?
Tape.
Okay,
it keeps having a resurgence. Yeah.
Not spinning discs.
Tape is underrated.
Not spinning discs?
I'm not saying that.
Okay. Explain IBM Fusion using a ridiculous analogy.
Teflon.
All right, let's go for it.
Okay, so
Explain why.
what does Teflon do? It makes things not stick,
Yeah.
right? You can move it anywhere. You can slide around the pan, slide onto a plate. So if I have a layer of IBM Fusion, I can go from on-prem to AWS to Azure to wherever I want it to live, like a layer of Teflon.
We couldn't use like the what is it, like the coolant in the air conditioning?
Freon?
Yeah, we couldn't use Freon.
What?
This is why you don't mix alcohol and painkillers.
I forgot
totally
about
just
that.
messing with you. So Broadcom's move on VMware, is it a gift or an overstated opportunity?
I think it's a gift, but not in the way that you expect me to say it's a gift.
All right.
I think
Okay.
it's actually a gift to their customers in a very strange way.
All right.
Obviously not from the short term financially, but in the fact that it is going to kick you into thinking about the future. And it is going to kick you into having a new approach, or at least exploring the possibilities of other approaches.
Okay.
And in doing so, you're going to find out that many of those machines, many of those applications that run your business are very happy to be in a containerized world. So why not start migrating over to that containerized world? And we can do that, again, while right-sizing VMware and then helping the customers out. Does it, in proxy, give us something really, really interesting to talk about as IBM to different customers? Of course.
Yeah.
But I think the real end result and the real gift, if we were to phrase things in, silver lining, while being wildly expensive, it is forcing customers, even SMB customers, to start having the thoughts about what am I going to do in a post-VMware world? How am I going to move over to a different platform?
I'm really curious about this answer, but what is a cringe moment with storage or infrastructure that you want to share?
Cringe. The time that I brought down Birmingham City Schools
Okay.
entirely
Okay.
during standardized testing and had to go sit in my car and call my boss and tell him that I just pulled down an entire school system because not my fault. I didn't
I don't
click
know
the
if I
wrong
believe
button.
you.
They swore to me that they had enough power to power on an array.
Okay. And that's for me when you have like different like APC or any of those.
Yeah, they should have had it.
Yeah.
They should have had power metering, and they should have known what their overhead was. And I told them exactly how many watts I was going to consume.
Wow.
They gave me the thumbs up. I checked again. They gave me the thumbs up. I plugged it in, auto sensing array, and red lights and a bunch of sirens start going off.
Oh,
and
no.
their backups for the power were not sufficient. So after a few minutes, everything just powered down.
So how long were they down?
Long enough for me to get into the driveway
Okay,
and get out of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Bad day.
But you kept your job?
I did keep my job.
Okay, good to know.
Did not keep the customer. So
Sucks. I know.
yeah.
I know. That's tough. Your favorite word. Kubernetes. Game changer or glorified complexity generator?
Game changer.
What? Okay. Tabs or spaces? And defend your answer.
Tabs.
Why?
Easier to read.
What?
Easier to read quickly.
Easier to read quickly. Okay. One technology from the past you'd bring back.
Rotary telephone.
Why?
Because nobody could call me because they don't know how it works.
That's a good one. That's a good. Just throw your phone in the ocean. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Throw it in the ocean. All right. Oh boy. Harley or muscle car? You can only keep one.
Harley.
Okay. What's one certification that actually means something to you?
Cisco.
What's one question a customer never asks but should?
What is the power consumption?
Or you'll knock down the door. Okay, great. If you could fix one thing about how IT procurement decisions get made, what is it?
Less red tape.
Yeah, but to find that, what do you mean?
less signatures required.
Okay. Under a certain amount, like a dollar amount?
Is this like perfect world?
Yeah, this
I
is
just
our
want
game.
somebody to give me a PO.
Oh yeah, don't we all though?
Yeah.
Yeah, with no annoying legal paperwork.
Right.
Love it. I love it. Okay. Best riff you've ever played. What song and what venue?
Whew, that's a big one. Boys Are Back in Town.
Oh.
And I played it at a handful of places. But
Okay.
that's just a classic, great riff.
Okay. All right. Last one. You're 3 gins deep, the band's done for the night, and someone asks you what the future of storage looks like. What would you say?
Consolidated.
That's it? Oh, for 3 drinks? One word?
Well, at 3 drinks, I'd be willing to get into a fight that we started with mainframe
Okay.
and then we decentralized.
Okay.
And the only logical step is to go back to something really resembling a mainframe. And that's an unpopular opinion because
Correct.
we've done so much decentralizing, building ourselves these silos.
Right.
The future should look like something resembling a mainframe.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So, as we wrap up our awesome time hanging out today on Tipsy Technologists, in the next 12 to 24 months, what do you think leaders are most prepared for and least prepared for when it comes to storage?
I think they're most prepared for change because they know change is coming.
Okay.
We could argue are they prepared for what change is coming, but I think they're prepared for the fact that there's going to be fundamental shifts in how IT is done.
Okay.
What I think we're least prepared for in the timing of this airing is the fact that we're going to run out of physical hardware. We're about to face an event level that we haven't seen since the hard drive shortage when Taiwan got flooded many years ago. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but it was
No, when did this
right.
happen?
Exactly. I'm old apparently.
We went through 28, so I don't know.
We
what
went
you're
through
talking about.
an international shortage of hard drives, and hard drives prices went through the roof. Very hard to get them. They were very expensive. We're about to experience that with things like CPU and anything based on silicon. So I think even if the companies have a plan for an acquirement that they want to do at the end of the year, they have a 27 budget that we're going to start moving into. I don't know if we're going to have product.
Okay.
Just as an industry.
So what's the backup plan? What's the industry going to do?
We have to start repurposing the stuff that's on the floor and doing it in a smarter way. So we have to build our platform approach utilizing the stuff that's currently on the floor. Right. And then as new equipment becomes available, we can start recycling out the old and bringing in new.
Okay. That answers what I was going to ask you next. And so getting ahead, what a smart IT leader should be doing what you're just saying.
I would, start
and
building a platform approach.
Okay. And utilizing their current infrastructure that they have now.
Correct.
Makes sense.
And if they want to be really smart about it, guess at how many servers you think you're going to need and what type of hardware you may need for starting the 27 and get it on order and start having those disagreements with the procurement right now, which goes back to why we shouldn't have the red tape. It should just be like, hey,
just buy it.
This is the reason I need it, so sign the check.
Now, do you think that shortage is going to force more people into the cloud?
I do. And I think the reason that that's going to happen is twofold. One, they're going to be aging out of the physical hardware they have. And two, they're going to be presented with application upgrades where they're going to have to run in a cloud-like instance. So I think we're about to see a kind of a perfect storm of those two things, application upgrades and lack of hardware availability. And it's going to force a lot of people into the cloud. And listen, I've never been in the mob. I don't know anybody in the mob, but I think the cloud operators seem like the mob. And it feels a lot like extortion once you get in there. First taste is free, and then the it just ratchets up every month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seen it happen to a bunch of people, unfortunately.
Yeah, in government, they're saying that too. So,
Yep.
A lot of changes coming up. Federal government.
Yes.
That's what I meant. Yeah. So, as we wrap up, let's see what kind of words of wisdom you can generate. I don't know about this, but let's give it a shot. What kind of actionable wisdom do you have for IT leaders trying to consolidate their stack?
Start now.
Start now.
Just overarching from everything we've learned today
Okay.
is start now, start small, start ramping up the team. The terminology in an OpenShift and Fusion and container world is a little bit different. So start learning that terminology, start preparing yourself for the inevitability that the future is coming, and it's coming like a freight train.
Okay. Okay. What about companies feeling pressure to do AI but don't know where to start?
That's a different answer. So if we want AI but we don't know where to start, my answer would not be start now. My answer would be to start maybe thinking about what it is your end result's going to be. The end result is going to tell us how to start. And if my end result is an agentic AI, that starts entirely different than my end result is an Ask HR bot. And I would hate to see somebody spend time, money, effort, and start down a process that we really should be over here. So whiteboarding sessions, build a COE, ask multiple OEMs to come in and tell you their story, and then start realizing what tools are out there. Figure out which one of those you want to either emulate, utilize, or which ones you need to adapt into the end result that's bespoke for your company. Because AI is a tool, but each company has its own bespoke answer to that question. Even two different insurance companies are going to have two different outcomes to the same question when it comes to AI.
So what's some actionable wisdom that you would tell to folks who are actively considering to move away from VMware, Broadcom?
So I would say start with knowing what machines can move away from VMware easily. There are a bunch of tools. There's a bunch of scans. And I would utilize the team at Frontier to bring them in and then know what of those machines are going to be easily moved to KVM, what ones might need a refactor, and then what ones I can just simply spin out. Interestingly enough, I bet during that process with your team, they're going to find a bunch of VMs that they don't even need. There's probably stuff they can just shut off and not even pay for it anymore.
And that helps them.
Right.
Right. Consolidate and save some money. And then the last question is, what would you give any advice to anyone who thinks they have a good infrastructure?
Thinks we have a good infrastructure? I will not use the client's name, but there was a company that we all know the name of, that thought they had a good infrastructure. That turns out they hadn't done a backup in a year and a half. Oh. And the question was raised to me, of course, at 2 a.m. on the bat phone.
Oh, no.
Calling me and asking me what their encryption key was, which, to those of you already laughing, you know that the whole idea behind an encryption key is that I don't have your encryption key.
Correct.
So explaining to the C-suite that I don't have your encryption key, we gave you 6 different USB keys to make copies of said encryption key. And we're down for a considerable amount of time and lost a considerable amount of money. Wow. And they thought they had it done. They thought that was good enough.
Make sure you have your backups, right? And you know your encryption keys, right? Essentially. All right. Well, you know what, Jake? I had fun today. I don't know if I'm going to invite you back.
I did too.
Though. Okay. Just kidding. All right, I love to have fun.
It's just trying to hurt my feelings at this point.
Yeah, right? No, it was really good having you.
Well,
here.
thank you.
Appreciate your humor.
I had a lot of
fun.
Yeah. This was great.
Yeah.
I would come back again.
Okay.
With a different host.
can always have David.
There we go.
It can be nerd to nerd.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming. We had fun today. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.